just welcome back to the Haddonfield Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror movie franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Tawan.
Maria.
And I'm Rudy.
and today we're reviewing The Cult of Chucky. This is, as of now, the last movie in the original Child's Play franchise, because after this, it would go, we get a remake, but I'll save my opinions on that remake when we get to the remake. But before that, Tawan, can you give the people a plot summary?
Chucky returns to terrorize his human victim Nico, who was confined to an asylum for the criminally insane. Meanwhile, the killer doll has some scores to settle with his old enemies with the help of his former wife.
Okay, I have to say, coming off The Curse of Chucky, I didn't like that movie. It brought back the jump scares and like the whole mystique around Chucky, but overall I didn't like it. But what I did love was the ending scene with Andy. Now I wasn't sure if we were going to get more Andy in this movie, but we did, and I loved it. And then, okay, this movie is weird as hell. Like it has some good stuff, but it's fucking weird. Like I don't understand. What about you guys? What do you guys think? Rudy.
I hated it. I don't. I'm watching it as we speak right now, and like as a background thing to kind of like help me remember it. I don't remember it, to be honest. I just didn't like it, especially when this is where they made Chucky like 100 plus more Chuckies behind them, and like
Oh, I'm gonna complain about that so much later.
I just hated it. I'm used to one Chucky only, so I didn't like the whole splitting the soul for each dog kind of thing concept. It just didn't make any sense to me.
What about you, Tawan? What did you think about this movie overall?
I remember when I first caught this movie, like on Netflix when it came out. I feel like I do remember liking this movie. Upon a rewatch, I'm not gonna say that I didn't like it, but like after a rewatch and then also like having the show in my mind also, um, like it's good to have it just because it like gave us what we needed to go into the show, which I do like. But as far as like just this movie itself, I didn't really like as much. I I do like the idea of like the splitting of the Chucky dolls just because it just gives something new to like go off of. Now, the implementation of it and also like implementations of a lot of things in this franchise don't make much sense. And the way that it was explained in this movie was like super one off, like just something so that nobody would question like how this even came about. But as far as like just the movie itself, um, yeah, I don't. Upon a rewatch, I don't know if I was feeling it as much as I did the first time I watched it. And I like putting in context everything, like watching everything like in order as we have like doing this. I don't think I'll like it as much as I did the first time I saw it.
Maria.
I actually liked the movie. Well, as part of the franchise, kind of not really, after seeing like the other Chucky movies. But like if it was a standalone movie, um, I don't know, I just thought he was kind of funnier in this one. Like I think I laughed more. Some scenes, I thought were kind of weird. I do think the whole splitting his soul thing was also kind of like it made me question like everything because it was like, why is he doing that? I thought he wanted to be a human. I mean, I get it. Maybe after a while, he just decided to be the doll, but then it's like, okay, so now we're going back to the whole voodoo thing. Now he doesn't need the whole amulet. Well, I guess maybe he doesn't need it because it's a different spell, I guess. But I don't know. It was just kind of some things were just kind of weird.
It was a different
Um,
name, right? It wasn't Dumbella. It was
Yeah, it's
something.
something else.
And like, okay, since you all mentioned it, I want to talk about the voodoo because we talked about the voodoo in the first couple movies, but if anything is inconsistent with this franchise, it's the voodoo. The voodoo hasn't been consistent since part three. Like those first three movies, the voodoo was what we were told in the first movie. But since Bride of Chucky, it's like the voodoo gets different every fucking time. because he didn't have that fucking amulet at any point when he was saying these fucking spells, but apparently he needed that in the Bride of Chucky and the Seed of Chucky, and now he's on VoodooForDummies.com.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Why is this fucking doll who was murdered in the '80s on the internet? Like, what's happening right now? And he has his soul into the wasn't the whole purpose of the Chucky franchise that he was trying to kill people to get back to being human, but now he is contempt with being the killer doll, so he's multiple killer dolls. But then just to end it with him being put his main soul inside of Nika, which is also confusing. Was the soul was the Chucky doll that went into Nika? Was that the main Chucky doll?
I believe so. But like I don't even think we know which one was the main. Well, I guess the main one is the one that Andy has. Like that's the
Is
main
it
one. To my yeah, because that's the one that was
that had the stitches?
yeah. So that's the main one because yeah, because remember Tiffany sent it to him. So
But then, if you
but
flash forward to the show, that doll isn't nowhere to be seen, and we only have Nika. So I was just basing off the fact that the one that's in Nika is the one that's with Tiffany. So I just figured that was the main. See, it's confusing. Like they fuck with the voodoo so much, I don't even know who the fuck the actual Chucky is, and I feel like there should be indication which Chucky is our Chucky that we've been watching for like six fucking movies.
yeah, and it definitely does make a little less sense. Like thinking about it that way, which personally I haven't just till like actually like just now, like cause so Tiffany sent the one doll to Nika, but in this movie we found out that Chucky split his soul into the little girl Alice and basically went on a killing spree as her until she died. But we also have these other dolls that were in the asylum with Nika and everything. But so I
Who's
guess
keeping track of these dolls? Like,
that actually is true.
does Tiffany have like a fucking spreadsheet so she can know who the fuck is who? Like, I need to know what the system is around here. Like, how does she know how many dolls and which doll is where and how many dolls is who? I need to know. I need to know Tiffany's like basically her fucking accountant. 'Cause what the fuck is going on around here? Like, ugh. But are there any scenes that you guys liked, disliked, kind of liked, thought were interesting, Maria?
Um, so okay, one scene that I disliked was the scene when she barely meets the dude Mark or Malcolm, and then it literally cuts to them having sex, and then it just cuts to like their group therapy, and that was it. And I was like, why the fuck? First of all, why did they show us that? They showed us that scene for so long, and that was it. Like, and I thought that was, I don't know, it was just a weird part of the movie that I was like, okay, and it just felt like it had nothing to do with the plot.
Hmm.
Um, I liked the scene where you kind of find out what the doctor was doing to Nika, when he was kind of like putting her under and stuff. And he like, the first time I thought it was so funny because he like hits him over the head and he goes, holy shit, he was like, oh, he's like, I don't know whether to be like impressed or take notes. And I thought I don't, that was just so funny to me. Both times when he like hit him over the head and Chucky was like, this guy is like evil.
Yeah, he's like he's worse
Um,
than me.
yeah, he was like, I don't know whether to be mad or take notes.
Happy to know that
Um,
Chucky has a line he doesn't cross.
yeah. What else did I like? Oh, that scene with Madeline where he kills her. I thought that scene was really gruesome. He just puts
Yeah,
his hand in
but
her
what the
mouth.
fuck did he pull out? That's what I was
I
confused about.
was
Like, what
Didn't
the
he pull
fuck
out her
was
wondering that
tongue?
too.
was that her tongue?
I
It
was
looked like her
it
tongue.
looked like bone though.
Yeah, like what the fuck
I was
was? I
so
don't know what the fuck
Maybe
that
confused.
her
was.
throat or I don't know. It looked like her tongue.
Mm.
But it was really gruesome, and especially when like the nurse went in and like his like he like had pulled out his arm and shoved it in her throat. Very gruesome. I thought it was a very good scene. Um, what else? Um, I think that was it.
What about you, Rudy? Do you have any scenes you like, dislike, kind of thought were interesting?
I like the intro to the movie following Andy's date, and then he's like kind of being open about his life, and the girl just gets scared off, and she
I
goes,
mean, but she Googled him.
"Yeah," and she's petty for that. I mean, Andy, I'm not gonna lie, he's fine. I like the chubby guy, so I'm a big Andy fan. And so, like, the fact that she just like did him bogus because he was being honest and shit, like, okay, you knew what you were getting yourself into. So I think that was a good introduction to the movie. I also like any scene with the doctor because I think he's fine too.
He was really cute.
He's like sober daddy realness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have many favorite scenes on this movie besides those two. The kill scenes could have been better, in my opinion. I've seen better in the Chucky franchise. Even the series has better kills, to be honest. So that pretty much sums up my favorites and least favorites.
Wait, I'll come back to it later. Tuan, what about you? You have any scenes you liked, disliked, kind of enjoyed?
Um, one scene I did will say I disliked, which also will agree with Maria, was like the random sex scene between Nika and that guy. It was just very out of place, and it like they never like came back to it. Like he was like, and it just happened, and then that was it. I was like, okay, on to the next scene, I guess. But a scene that I did like was I'm trying to think which character it was. It wasn't Madeline. It was Claire, I think it was the one who she got put in like the she got sedated and put into the bed and like killed um
The bike
by the
spoke.
window, not by the window, that like the window that was above and like the Chucky used the
Oh,
gas
when
canister to like open
yes,
it up. That was actually a nice kill.
a
Like the
little
way
a little
that
call back.
yeah, like yeah, call back to Bride of Chucky. So yeah, I like that kill the way it was, and like it was pretty gruesome because she was definitely like catching on, even though like she was just like fuck Nika from the start. But like she was definitely catching on, but didn't catch on quick enough, and ended up paying a price. But I guess the way that they kind of filmed it, it was like nice, even though she died. But I did like that scene, and well, there was another scene that I did. Oh, fucking Andy when he killed the Chucky doll. Which honestly, like, I was like, when he killed that one Chucky doll that he like put the gun inside, it just like kind of took me out for a second because how he like pinned the Chucky doll against the wall, and I'm like, y'all could have done that so many times in this movie, in these movies, if it's that easy.
Yep. Well, for me, I like the scenes with Andy. I was like, I'm so happy that we have the OG Andy back. No offense to the guy who was in Child's Play 3, but he wasn't the Andy Barkley that we all like knew and loved.
He's a horrible actor, first of all.
I was trying to be nice, okay? I was trying to be nice. All right. But I was happy to see Alex Vincent back. And I was like I enjoyed seeing Kyle. I love that post credit scene.
Yes.
Um I didn't like all the scenes with that Michael guy. I just didn't like that character. I didn't know what the fuck the purpose was. I was like, I don't know what the like. Yeah, I get it. It's a misdirect, but when we already see Chucky hopping from body to body, I don't need someone who has like an extreme case of associative identity disorder. Like I didn't need that at all. Like I just didn't like any of his scenes. And
Mm.
then
To be honest with him, every time, like after watching the whole sex scene with him and Nika, and every time he would act so crazy, her face was so funny because I just imagine her thinking like, I really just fucked this guy. He's fucking crazy. Like he's out here saying all this crazy shit. talking about who do you say who do you think he was? Mark from from Facebook, and like
Oh
she's
yeah, Mark
really saying he's
Zuckerberg.
this. Yeah, I thought that was so funny because her face was looking at him like fuck, like I like I really had sex with this man.
Yeah, I didn't like any of his scenes. I was just like, I don't. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling him. I enjoyed seeing Tiffany. I
Always.
was kind of confused because I'm just like, she's in the body of Jennifer Tilly. Like, do
Yes.
you guys not? How do you guys not recognize the chick? This is Jennifer Tilly. Like, I to that part threw me off. Like, even with like the hair dyed. I'm like, but she's still Jennifer fucking Tilly. Like, can someone explain to me how they don't know who this woman is? But whatever. It's between the voodoo and a lot of the other shit. I was like, okay.
I mean,
But
I feel like sorry,
no, go
but I
ahead.
feel like about the whole like Jennifer Tilly thing, I mean, she's kind of been in prison for a while now. So I guess she just hasn't, I'm pretty sure she hasn't been
Oh, because
exposed
there
to
has
media.
been a 4 year jump. I forgot.
Yeah. So I imagine she just hasn't.
This movie takes 4 years after Curse of Chucky. Okay. I mean, and plus like electric shock therapy. But even so, like everyone else at the asylum, like the doctors and nurses, they never seen that fucking Jennifer Tilly movie. Come on, Jennifer Tilly's been in a lot of movies, a lot of big ones. Like someone should have recognized that was Jennifer Tilly. Someone should have put two and two together.
Mm.
But whatever, I'll let that
Yeah.
slide. Let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about Nika, our final girl. Well, she was our final girl in part. Well, in the Curse of Chucky. What you guys think about Nika, Rudy?
Um, well, I gotta start pretending to be nice, but I can't fucking stand Nika. I don't like her character. I don't like her fucking face. I think she does the same face in every movie that I've seen with her so far, including the series. And I love her father, by the way. That's Brad's daughter, but she just rubs me the wrong way. And
She looks so much like him that it's kind of distracting at
not
times.
even. I mean, when she played him in the series, which we'll get back, get into that when we get down the road. Yeah, she looks just like her father, but her as an actress, I just can't take her seriously. And I don't like how they made her into like this whiny, like handicap, like, oh my god, my world is coming to an end kind of character, if that makes any sense. I just feel like they make her so helpless and
They definitely did.
and
They
weak.
made her extreme damsel in distress.
Yeah, like weakling and like, bitch, come on now, you got strength. Um, but yeah, I can't say much about her that's nice enough. I knew that I didn't like her since the Curse of Chucky. To be honest, I just knew she was gonna be annoying, and she is finer girl. But I'm sorry, it's a pass for me.
Well, my only issue is that when Chucky possessed her body,
Oh, she's a bad bitch. Then I love her when
it could the body could walk again. But I was like, I don't think her being able to like not being able to walk is a mental or a psychological thing. Like you stabbed her mother in the stomach when she was pregnant, and you damaged her spinal cord.
Yeah.
Did the voodoo spirit switch fix this bitch's spinal cord? Like what's happening right now?
well, the possession itself doesn't it like isn't it supposed to be like super powerful?
Yeah, but they didn't explain that. And then you get to the TV series, it became even confusing because
Yeah,
when Nika was Nika in the TV series, she couldn't walk. But when Chucky was taking over Nika's body again, she could walk. She could walk.
she was a bad
And that
bitch.
whole, and I'm so upset that they didn't go through it like further in a TV show because I was enjoying it, but the fact that both Nika and Chucky's soul were both in there and both fighting for control. Like if that was just a show, I would have fucking loved it still. Like cause that concept seems interesting to me. The back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. But what did you think about Nika Tuan?
Um, personally, I liked her more in Curse than I did in this one. Like, and not even to like make a joke, but it's like they gave her a handicap on top of her handicap by putting her in this facility, and like obviously no one believes her, and things like that. So she is like at like a disadvantage, and like in a sense, but because like all the other characters that were like around her, like no one was really gonna believe her, and also that doctor was just like using her for his own like pleasure, like physically and also like professionally, like saying he was gonna write a book about her and all that stuff. So nothing that she was really doing was gonna be able to really help her. And I don't know, she I felt like she was a little smarter in Curse of Chucky than this one. And I'm trying to think because I was gonna say something about her, but yeah, I personally like really felt like her character is like a bit better in Cursed compared to this one, and she didn't do as much in this one. Like there was kind of like a lot of things going on that involved her because like she was involved with the Chucky stuff, but it's more so things were just happening like around her as compared to her like doing a lot of things to help like either help herself or like forward the plot, if you kind of get what I mean.
Maria.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what everybody's saying. I feel like she didn't really do much here. I think sometimes she had like clarity, like the first time when Chucky like cut her and like there was like blood on the floor, that gave her like that. I forgot what the message was, but it was like like blood on the floor, and she like covered it up, because obviously they were gonna blame her for that. Um, but then like. But then she just kept saying like Chucky's alive, it's Chucky, he's gonna kill us. Like, man, like you're in a psych ward because you were literally convicted of murdering your family over this doll. Like you really think they're gonna be like, oh my god, it is the doll, like so it was like sometimes she was like rationally thinking, and she was doing things that like you're like, okay, like that makes sense. But then like sometimes it's like she just throws that shit out the window
Hmm.
and she just goes, tells everybody it's the doll. Like nobody fucking believes it's a doll. I'm pretty sure she knows well enough they're not gonna believe her it's the doll. Like you're literally convicted of killing people. Come on. Um I don't know. I just feel like sometimes they just made her seem so smart. Like sometimes I'd be like, okay, like that's like I feel like as a final girl, I guess kind of, right? Like that was pretty smart, but then sometimes she was just dumb. Like, and it kind of changed from scene to scene sometimes and
Yeah, that's also how I kind of felt. Like it wasn't consistent with the character.
yeah, like with Sydney and Scream, she was always kind of not really like one-upping, like the um Ghostface, but she was like fighting back. And I feel like sometimes Nika would fight back, but then sometimes she just wouldn't, you know?
Well, let's flash forward to the TV show. So when we see Nika, she's with Tiffany still, and like I said earlier, like they were showing like this whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing where Nika was there, but then Chucky was there. But then at the end of the season, we see Nika's there, but then Tiffany cut off her fucking limbs because she didn't want Chucky to take control. So like it seems like they just keep putting Nika in places where she can't help herself and she's just like continuously the damsel in distress.
Damn, I forgot that even happened at the end of the season. You just reminded me. I just remembered that. That was fucked
Right?
up.
Like I'm like, has this poor woman been through enough? She was paralyzed as a like inside the womb. She was paralyzed, and her whole family's been murdered. She's in the insane asylum. She's possessed. She's fighting her possession, and now she has had all her limbs amputated while still fighting possession. Like, what the fuck?
No, for real.
like Don Mancini, what woman hurt you that you're throwing all of this on Nika? Like, what the fuck is going on right now?
They
Yeah, like it kind of
go ahead.
like it just kind of seems like they're like, you know, what's the most fucked up thing that could happen? Let's just throw it at Nika. You know, like she already can't walk. She gets convicted of murdering her family. Her niece dies. Like her niece is dead. Then she finds out her niece was possessed. Then you know, and then on top of that, she was being like basically raped by her fucking doctor. Um, and then like you know, she gets possessed. People around her keep dying, and then for it just seems like she just never has a break. It's always one thing after another.
What are you gonna say, Rudy?
I completely forgot. Honestly, I was listening to you guys' conversation.
Well, let's move on to Alice. So Alice was Nika's niece from that sister who from her randomly bisexual, maybe closet lesbian sister, which was not needed at all in that last movie. But then we find out that Alice was possessed, and pos- Chucky and Alice's body went and murdered a bunch of people until she was murdered. I feel like I needed at least one scene of murderous Alice. But what did you guys think about Alice being possessed and murdering people? Tuan?
Um, don't have much to say on it. I would say I guess Chucky finally got to possess a child. Like that's what he's been trying to do forever. So he finally got to do that, I guess. But
That's why we needed to see it. Like,
yeah, like they finally got to do it, which does mean him doing like the incantation at the end of the movie, Curse of Chucky with like Alice, like that went through, which was like I guess left as a little cliffhanger. Like if we're being honest, so at least they like wrapped it up, but um. It is kind of shitty that somebody fucking killed her.
Rudy.
Wait, Alice from Curse of Chucky is in cult as well.
No, but they mentioned that Chucky took over her body and went on a killing spree until someone killed her.
Oh,
But we didn't get to see any of that. No,
oh, they
they
just
didn't
talked
show that.
about it. I was gonna say, wait, where did I miss this shit at? Um, but I thought, okay, maybe I just don't remember. But didn't Tiffany come visit Nika and told her that she died of a broken heart or some shit? Was she just instigating then, or was it
She was lying. Tiffany
to
was
hurt her,
lying.
right? To like kind of like emotionally fuck
Mm-hmm.
with her? Well, I don't have much to say about Alice. Like I know in Curse, she was like I
Annoying as shit.
no, I thought she was cute in like a cute way, I guess, because she seemed innocent and like just so into the fucking doll. But um, more power to you, Alice. I mean, did she really die though?
Yeah, Alice is dead.
No, like,
They killed her.
but they mentioned it in Cult, right?
Yeah,
Yep, it's mentioned in Cult.
yeah.
It's all mentioned, not seen. But what about you, Maria? What do you think about a murderous serial killing child?
I mean, I definitely would have liked to have seen that. But now, you know, I'm kind of thinking about it and like I wonder if like, you know, after, you know, him transferring his soul into the child and you know, he gets killed and stuff, and you know, and then you know, I feel like I wonder if that's why he ended up switching his whole plan because now he's like, you know, obviously this whole child that me becoming a child is not gonna let him go out and keep murdering people. So fuck it, I'm gonna stay in this doll. And then he found that whole voodoo thing to multiply his soul somehow, and now he's just gonna become multiple dolls and go on a huge killing spree. I wonder if that's what. I mean, that would make sense to be honest to
Because didn't
me.
he say that he had just found that spell on that website like 4 months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was all new, and she had been locked up for 4 years, and we don't know how long he was inside of
Alice.
Alice. So you
Yeah,
have a
so I feel
point.
like it would have definitely have been great to see Alice to see that transition, you know, because like I mean, in the beginning, I didn't even think about it until like right now. But like that would have been great to kind of have thought about earlier, you know, like if there was a little hint. I guess Chucky did say like, you know, I can't really be a child because I can die. You know, like I can't be a kid murdering people because someone's gonna beat the shit out of me and kill me. Um, which I kind of thought, you know, and but I didn't put two and two together until right now because that would make sense why he changed his whole strategy, why he's now multiplying his soul into other dolls, because you know I guess dolls aren't as easy to kill, and he can like create more of them, and I guess just go out and murder people like he wants to. Huh. Anyway, I would have liked to have seen a murdering Alice, to be honest. That would have been really great.
From murdering Alice to multiple man, which he's credited as Malcolm slash Michael, aka that weird guy that Nika fucked. What do you think about him, Maria?
I just can't get over that. I cannot get over the fact that like she fucked this man after like 10 minutes of meeting him, which you know what? I guess she's been locked up for a long time. She wants to, you know, she has needs, everybody has needs. But it's like you're in the psych ward. And when he started acting all crazy and she didn't realize what his crazy was, and then like when she like realized what he had, her face to me was so funny because it was like I really fucked you. Like I really did that. Um and to me it was just kind of funny. I don't know what his whole purpose was of being there. Um I feel like out of everybody he had the most sense about what was going on with Chucky, you know, because he was always kind of stating basically what we would always think, you know, because um I think that scene where they had the two dolls and Nika had told the doctor like, can you prove that like that one of that what was it? I think it was that scene where like he like burns his hand,
Yeah.
and then like she was like, how can this be? And then like Malcolm is all, you know, what if he changed places? You know, that would make sense.
Hmm.
But it was just kind of like I don't know. I don't know why he was there. Like it kind of really made no
He
sense.
was a red herring because he has so many. He always assumes someone's personality. We were supposed to like, oh, is he actually Chucky, or it was supposed to be a misdirect, but it didn't. It missed. The misdirect missed.
Yeah, I feel like as a misdirect, he wasn't in a lot of scenes, you know, like after becoming Charles, he was barely there. He would come in every now and then, make a side little comment, and then leave. And then that was it, you know?
Hmm.
So I feel like that's why it missed. Like in the beginning, he was there the whole time. But then once he, you know, assumed Charles's personality or what he thought was his personality, um, it kind of just he was suddenly just gone. Like you barely saw him. I guess they were trying to make him seem creepy and mysterious or whatever, but they did it too much that you kind of forget he's even there.
Tuan, what about you?
Um, I really just felt like he was kind of there to like his character was there to like check a box. Like any movie or any like media that takes place in like a psych ward or anything, they always have to have that one character that has like multiple personality type disorder, something like that. And he was kind of there to like check that kind of box for someone in this like specific scenario. And I do agree that I felt like it also did feel like he was there for like a misdirect because the one scene where like he got pushed into the grave by I think it was Madeline and with the Chucky doll, like they kind of wanted us to believe like Chucky put like his soul into his body, which is what I thought like watching the movie. But then when you get to the end, like you see, it really wasn't even the case because he didn't kill anyone, and he just said he was Charles. I'm assuming just based either like what he knows off Chucky already, or maybe the doll did talk to him while he was in that pit with it for a bit. But like he just assumed that personality. He didn't actually like you know like take up anything from it. So yeah, definitely it felt like his character was there for like a misdirect type of thing, but he wasn't like just really that good of a character though. And his the personality of him like acting like Mark Zuckerberg or whatever was like weird. It was like very weird to me, just the way that it like just the way that like he sounded and it came out. Um, but yeah, I didn't really care much for his character, and still that random sex scene with Nika was just so random. It's just so out of place.
Rudy.
I don't have much to say about the character. I think he was just like a fill-in character to kind of just add to the kill count, or just add some kind of volume to the storyline itself. He kind of reminds me of Richie from Scream, the new one. I'm not sure if it's like like his
Yes.
antics as a whole.
Hmm.
Like I'm watching it right now in the background, and I'm like, this guy reminds me of Richie. But yeah, most of these characters, even honestly, like they just seem like villains. I feel like Dan Mancini, what did I say? Don Mancini wanted to just cast a bunch of people in an asylum so that they add like kill counts to the movie. Because if you think about it, none of these characters really have anything to give to the table. They're just like there. Um, but yeah,
And honestly, given I was gonna bring up Madeline next,
that
but
the fucking
what?
Miranda Cosgrove looking girl.
Yeah, the one who murdered her kid.
She's so annoying. Oh my god.
And what you just said made so much sense. They were definitely put on just to like add to the kill count, but they were also like justifiable kills in a way because what that one guy was batshit crazy. He thought he was different people. He thought he was a serial killer and was prepared to like act on his serial killer persona of killing people. And then you have Madeline who smothered her fucking baby. So it was like, I don't feel bad when Chucky like snuffed these people out. I'm not quite sure what that chick did when the one that he threw the he did the like the little the Bride of Chucky recreation kill.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
quite
she burned her house down from what they
Oh
like mentioned like
yeah.
really
oh,
briefly.
so see, like every kill was like justified. There's no like innocent victim like Aunt Maggie or the people that. What are you saying, Rudy?
No, I'm just laughing. And Maggie was not innocent. Stop playing, because she was
I
Andy
mean,
Bogus.
I mean, she was being irresponsible babysitter. Okay, she had duties, but like everyone in this movie, it's like okay, they were kind of assholes. Like even the doctor, that's fucking
Mm,
doctor,
mm, mm,
as attractive as he
mm,
was,
mm.
like he was a fucking
Not the
sexual
doctor,
predator.
Marcus.
He was
Not the
he was a
doctor.
sexual predator, and I was like
Uh,
Chucky, bash him upside the head
keep
again.
my
Like
predator.
stop,
Bye.
please stop.
Oh God.
Stop.
No.
But
No.
also, that actor is in the TV show. He plays the mayor's wife in the TV show.
That's him, right? I fucking knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh my god.
And he died. He came back just to die again. This
Yeah,
time
Oh
he got.
damn, that is him.
he was so
Yep,
wimpy in the
he's
show
a.
though. Like so, like
Yeah,
He
he
was.
was the dad who was murdered when Chucky stabbed him in the
oh
ass.
my
That was
god.
hilarious.
Mm, mm-mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
But so, we're gonna skip and we're gonna skip the doctor. We're gonna skip Madeline
Yeah, skip
and
Brenda Cosgrove.
just go straight to Andy. Rudy, what did you think about an adult Andy
Baby
played by the
daddy.
OG
Baby
actor? What did you
daddy.
think?
I can't. I love him. When he was announced that he was gonna return to the movie before it came out, I was excited because I'm like, how does he look? Blah blah blah. He came out. I'm like, holy fuck! It looks just like Andy, but it's an adult version. And I think they brought him back strong because he came in with like this positive, like bad boy, I'ma fuck him up attitude. And even though he wasn't like, I was hoping he would be like in the majority of the movie, but he was just making appearances here and there in the movie, which kind of did help a lot. Because without him, let's face it, the movie's not that interesting. At least not for me. So like Tiffany coming back for that cameo, and Andy, I love them overall. I can't say
What about his appearance in the TV show?
his appearance in the TV show. I
Yep.
mean, any appearance with my baby daddy is obviously on point. So yeah, I loved it. I honestly, I hope he does come back in the season 2 for the series, but they need to give him a bigger role because I feel like every time he's in the movies, he's just playing like this small little role, and he'll just make appearances throughout the you know TV show or the movies even. So I'm excited
Yeah, they do to him what I don't want Scream to
to
do
the OG.
to Nav Campbell and Courtney
Well, I
Cox.
think Courtney's down, but Nev is being a diva. I don't think she really wants to come back.
I mean, if they just have Nev like pop up on the fucking screen to like report murders are happening in Woodsboro yet again, and then she just disappears, I'm okay with that. Just be a reporter. Be
No.
on my Good Morning America esque. Like I want Gail to be safe and alive. All right, stop putting her in danger. But what about you? What about you, Maria? What did you think about Andy and this movie and his appearance in the TV show?
Um, in the movie, I guess I felt kind of bad for him because he was like in the beginning, when he was trying to date, and she had looked him up, which I'm like, I kind of feel like, why hasn't he changed his name? You know, like I feel like it's so
I
easy.
wouldn't
He
have. I wouldn't have.
no,
No.
hell, I totally would have. Um, but I felt kind of bad for him then. Um, because obviously, even though he's older, Chucky's obviously still like very much haunting his life. Um, I did like the post credit scene in Curse when like as soon as Chucky popped up, he like brought out his shotgun. He definitely seems a lot more prepared now. Because in the beginning when he was, I guess, torturing Chucky, um, which I thought was kind of like, personally, I thought it was kind of weird because like his date went wrong. And I get it, it was technically because of Chucky what he did to him when he was younger. But like I would have kept that head in there for so long, and not would have carried. I would have just left him in there. Like I would have left him in there, forgotten about it. He could just stay there. Um, but I don't know, because he was literally there in the beginning. He was there every now and then in the middle, and then he came back at the end, and then kind of like, I guess, in a way pulled a Sydney because he kind of already knew his way of he had a plan set up, to try to try to kill Chucky, um, which I thought was cool, but it also kind of just seemed like, to me personally, I think it just came out of nowhere. Um, I know Chucky has tried to kill him like 3 times, but like, has he really tried to kill him after that? Um,
I think this is his first time like finding Andy. I mean,
yeah.
but
So like,
also Andy has PTSD, so and the cause of his PTSD is like there in front of him. So why not take advantage and whoop his ass? I support Andy in this endeavor.
that's true. I don't know. I just feel like I would just left Chucky in the fucking wall. Like, he can stay in there. He can
That's
fucking
not
rot.
fun. That's not
He
fun.
can. Oh my god.
He needs to be tortured. I'm sorry. Whoop that Chucky head ass. Okay, I support Andy in this. Keep beating his ass. Hit him 2 more times for me.
Oh my god.
What about you, Tuan? What did you think about Andy in this movie and in the TV series?
Yeah, I like Andy in this movie, and yeah, I do agree. Like at this point, like he just has so much like trauma and PTSD from all this. Like it's just ruined his life. At this point, like it's
Mm-hmm.
really like no coming back. Like after like all of it, like Chucky like trying to get him in 3 different parts of his life. Like fucking his mom got fucking put in an institution. Um, so he lost his only like actual family. Then he had to like at least, but then he eventually like found Kyle, which was nice. Like Kyle was like a like good person, but then like I don't remember if they explained what happened between him and like what happened with him and Kyle like going into the third one. But then he gets sent to military school. That's like the only support he had again cut off. And then at this point he's just out here and like obviously like Andy's probably like seen like the news and stuff from like going onwards and like seeing like probably stuff popping up about good guy dolls from like Bride of Chucky and like Seed of Chucky and everything. But so like he doesn't know if like Chucky's gonna be out there. He's always just gonna be on high alert wherever. So um the fact that he got to put down some justice and was ready for fucking Chucky when he did come back for him, I mean, I'm all for it. I was glad he got to do it. Shit, torture that motherfucker forever. Like if it's like do it forever.
Right?
Like I don't care. Like shit, he's a serial killer before he got put to doll. So fuck him up. But as far as like like himself, like Alex Vincent, I'm glad he was like back for like the role, liked him in the movie, and that he was trying to like, even though like he didn't know much about Nika, like he was gonna come to the aid of whoever needed his help against Chucky, and also going into the TV show as well, he did the same thing. Like it was his scene where him and Kyle just showed up to um one of the family's homes. I do remember this scene. They showed it's like one of the family's homes who had a Chucky doll, and they just shot the fuck out the doll and it showed it was like alive. That was a good ass scene in the TV show. And he was just coming back like taking no punches. Like he wasn't like little baby Andy anymore. Like he was Andy with a plan and was like coming to make sure that whatever if he's dead, Chucky got to go down with him and I'm all for it. Like, get your revenge, bro.
Now, when Andy pulled up to his house, that was a nice ass house, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? But then I did some research, and Don Mancini said that he wrote it as Andy has a lot of money because he sued the fuck out of
Good
who made
guys
the Chucky
or
dolls?
whatever.
Who?
I was just saying good guys, but I know the toy
Yep,
company.
good guys. Yeah, he sued the fuck out of that toy company, and he won them lawsuits because people kept ended up dead around the fucking doll, and the doll had fingerprints of Charles Lee Ray. So
Hmm.
Andy was somewhat vindicated, and he got that money.
Yeah,
So Andy's rich.
can't explain that shit.
Andy is a rich daddy. All right. So not only is he attractive, he got money.
Fuck the money. I just want him.
But but I was like, I'm glad that at least something in Andy's life went right because in the post credit scene for Curse of Chucky, he was talking to his mom, and he asked his mom how Mike was doing. The cop from the first movie. So apparently, mom and the cop are fucking. So
Good for her.
I'm happy. Yeah, and I was happy that in this movie he was able to call Kyle. Let's go to Kyle. I was so happy to see Kyle in the post credit scene. I was so happy to hear that Kyle was coming back for the TV show because I was like, my favorite part of part two was the two of them like
Hmm.
being siblings. What about you, Maria? What you think about Kyle's return in the movie and TV show?
It was so nice seeing her. I love Carl. I loved the post credit scene. I forgot about it until I had Snapchatted you, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot it was post credit scene." So when I watched it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I love how they kept her little hat thing, so you can tell it's Kyle. um, I liked the whole, I liked the fact that Chucky even like recognized her. Um, I like her a lot. I feel like she's always been a badass. Like ever since like the second movie, she's great. Like I love her a lot. I love her character. Um, I don't know why I can't remember her in the TV show.
I mean, she was there with Andy. Her and Andy went complete like Pulp Fiction on that one Chucky doll. Like
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shot his ass up, like Tuan said. But then she was the one who drugged Jake and that girl do my last episode because she was like, Andy would kill me if I got two kids hurt in the process of trying to save him.
Oh yeah, yeah, she did do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like her a lot.
What about you, Rudy? How did you like seeing Kyle back in the movie and the TV show?
I love Kyle. She's iconic, and like Maria says, she's her portrayal is like badass. She's a badass cunt, and I really wish they would give her more. Like I said, the OGs always have like limited time on screen, and I just wish that they give them more screen time for the next season of the show, so we can see more of their background. Like I want to know what Kyle be doing for a living besides being a badass bitch, following Andy around like a puppet. But no shade,
Right?
shade.
I enjoyed having Kyle back. It just made sense.
Hmm.
It made sense. But from Kyle to Tiffany, no, I didn't like my only part that I liked Tiffany in the movie in Cult of Chucky was the car scene when we see human Tiffany laugh and then he like turns the rearview mirror, and we see doll Tiffany laugh, and I was like, oh shit. Now this is the movie I want. I want Thelma and Louise style with doll Tiffany and no, Bonnie and Clyde with doll Tiffany and human Tiffany on a murderous road trip. This is what I needed. But I didn't like her in the TV show. I didn't like the flashbacks because the flashbacks with the other actress with Jennifer Tilly's
Oh
voice
my
dubbed
god,
over it was
those
weird as shit.
those scenes took me out because like I was like, why couldn't y'all just let them talk? Like, oh, we know they're the characters. Y'all do not need to dub over them.
So cringy. And the way that she got her squeaky voice,
Yes.
I
Yeah,
was
I did
like,
not like that. I was like, what? Yeah, all those flashbacks really bothered me because you could totally tell. Like, it's literally Tiffany's voice. Like, we hear it. We know what it sounds like. It did not match the actress.
Yeah, like it
It was
was
not
not
good.
that necessary. Like some things are like necessary. That was not that necessary. That the both like Brad Dourif and fucking Jennifer Tilly needed to dub over these actors with their own voices. It was not that serious.
yeah, and then like Jennifer Tilly. No, I stand. I'm a Jennifer Tilly stan. But the only really part that I really liked with Tiffany is when, at the end, when she chopped off Nika's fucking limbs. I'm like, this is the badass Tiffany, crazy Tiffany that I fucking love. And then when we saw doll Tiffany in the car, I'm like, you keep showing me glimpses of doll Tiffany still being around, but I'm not seeing doll Tiffany. But at least this time, Rudy, unlike the seed of Chucky, she had her iconic jacket on,
I know.
which
Are we talking about this?
I
We're talking about
fucking
the
loved
series,
it.
right?
We're talking about Cole and the series because she had it on
Wait,
them
she's in
both.
both.
So you go ahead. She's in the end scene of the
Oh
Cult of
Lord,
Chucky.
this is how you know I haven't really fucked with a cult like that.
When Chucky takes over Nika and he meets human body
Yeah.
Tiffany, and they make out, they get in the car, they laugh, and then either Chucky or Tiffany like touches the rearview mirror, and then in the back
Oh
seat we see
yes.
doll Tiffany.
Sitting that. Yeah, yeah, I
Yes.
remember that scene now. I'm thinking of the series too. She makes an appearance towards the end, but she's not. I think she's alive, right? Yeah.
Yep. But I don't I enjoyed Tiffany. But what did you think about Tiffany and the movie and the show, Tuan?
Um, I like her appearance in the movie. Like was so short that I really didn't have that much of an opinion on it. Besides knowing that she like Tiffany had a plan with Chucky or Charles to this was like the plan the entire time because she was out there like clockwork when it was time to go. So that plan was very timely uh, and in favor of Chucky. But in the show, I liked how they used her in the show because they used her like more like as Jennifer Tilly in the show, which is like what I did like. Um, so like Jennifer Tilly like bought a house in the town, and like Jennifer Tilly is doing this for like the charity and like is gonna give away like the good guy dolls and everything. So I did like that aspect of it. Like they were actually planning to Tiffany being a celebrity because like she's in a celebrity's body. So I did like that aspect of it, and I liked her when like she was interacting with Nika because like at times you were getting like the Tiffany that really wasn't for like all the killing, but then other times you just got fucking batshit crazy Tiffany who ends up cutting off all of Nika's limbs. So, um, I would say like just because she wasn't much in the movie, I of course like her more in the show, and I hope that we like yes, I hope we do get more of the doll Tiffany as well because her popping up at the end in the truck was a nice little surprise there.
Maria.
I liked her. I always loved Tiffany. I did. The ending was definitely like that scene because I'm pretty sure it was Tiffany who had like, because she was like laughing into the mirror and then she like changed it and then you see like doll Tiffany. I loved that scene. I thought it was really great. Um, I also really enjoyed her in the show because I feel like you see so many parts of her. Her as a celebrity, her as like crazy Tiffany, her like just like the rate. I guess you can really see how crazy she actually is. I mean, I know like we've seen her murdering people, but I don't think we've really seen how much um like her actual like
How skilled she is. That's what the
yeah. Yeah, because like usually she just like slashes their throats or she'll just like do something quick, but like you just don't really see how much of like a badass she is, when it comes to
Yeah,
murdering
I'm kind
people
of
like
him and Tiffany too. I want to see
um
more of the doll this time.
yeah, that's true. Because definitely like the last part where she like cuts off all of like Nika's limbs was like it was like, okay, I didn't realize your crazy reached all the way up to this point.
Right.
I mean, it was a lot. But let's talk about. I want to hold off talking about Chucky because there's a lot to unpack with Chucky. Okay, let's talk about the TV show. Now, the TV show Chucky, it revolves around high school student Jake Wheeler, Jake Wheeler, and his abusive dad and his budding romance with Devin because it's a gay show. And the whole point of the show, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because it's still just more stupid remixed voodoo, was that Chucky needed someone innocent to kill someone using him or influenced by him in order to awaken his soul and the other thousands of Chucky dolls there were. Am I getting that right? Is that the whole purpose of the first season of the show?
Yes.
And where the fuck did that voodoo spell come from? Where did that happen from?
Well, he said he was on Voodoo for Dummies, so I guess we the dummies because we don't know what the fuck going on.
As you know, that's that's a way to do it. That's a way to say it because we dumb as shit. Well, I'm dumb as shit because I don't know because I that was the part I was stuck on. I was like, you were trying to get this kid to murder someone, but like, did they? Because his cousin is the one who killed someone
Yes.
because his cousin killed his dad. So did they have to use Chucky as the murder weapon, or just
I
like
think they just had to
be
be influenced
influenced
by
by Chucky?
Chucky to do it.
I need this voodoo to be explained. I'm so fucking confused because now there's an army of Chucky dolls on the
I'm
loose.
telling you, it's like Fast and Furious. The more you think about the plots and how it all adds up, the less sense it makes. But I'ma still watch it though.
I see that I'm the opposite because I'm the person who like I need details to be explained. I need to understand what the fuck I'm watching. But the TV show overall was really
Oh
good.
yeah, I
What you
did
think,
like the show.
Rudy?
I love the TV show. I can't wait for second
Yeah,
season. They brought back that old
I
school
feel like
Chucky feel
they.
to it. Honestly, the whole I like when they incorporate the teenagers
Hmm.
better than adults because it's more, I guess, relatable. Not relatable. I mean, we're all adults, but at one point
Hmm.
we all lived their story. Like, I like the fact that he added the gayness of what's his face and the main boy. Yeah, like
Jake.
the whole him dealing with a homophobic and alcoholic father, etc. Like, I love it. You don't really see that much when they add adults only.
What about you, Maria?
Honestly, I like the show a lot more than I thought I was going to. When I first saw that it was coming out, I was like, really? They're doing this? But then, like, my sisters made me watch it, and I was like, you know what? This isn't really that bad. I liked how modern it is. I definitely enjoyed the story. I like the fact that it's teenagers because I kind of feel like, um, I mean, yeah, like it is relatable, but I feel like kids are easily influenced that it would make sense for him to have them kill, you know? Um, and growing up, you're dealing with a lot, like you're kind of dealing with a lot of shit. Um, that I guess having this murderous doll, adding on to it was really like it's like the I don't know what I'm trying to say. Um, I just feel like I mean you haven't really seen him deal with teenagers until like I guess like the last time was with
Exactly.
like Andy. I mean I guess in like the Bride of Chucky, but they don't really count. Um,
No, because we hated them.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But I feel like
But
teenagers are very easily influenced. Like they're still trying to grow into themselves, and and they're
and
dealing with a lot of like
especially the
social
gay
standing.
teenagers, they're still trying to figure out like
Pussy, yeah.
who the fuck they are. Hmm. What about you, Twan? What you think about the show overall?
I really liked the show. I was also in the same camp as Maria's. I really was not like expecting it to like really be much of anything, especially because it was coming on Sci-Fi. Like Sci-Fi they have a
Yeah.
spotty ass track record.
Yeah, and I don't like TV shows that are like sequels or prequels to like movies, because that Exorcist TV series was not. It did not give what it's supposed to be giving.
Yeah, and then but with this one, saying that was a continuation, and I thought they were just gonna like reboot it and make a whole like thing TV show out of it, which just like a reboot in like the softest sense of the word, but um it's still like following the same like storyline and everything. But it all worked for me. Like I do agree. I like that they were teenagers. Kids would have been too boring. Like we've seen that already, and like adults, like that just it just I don't think it would just would I don't think it would have worked anyway. But like teenagers was like the right like demographic to go with for like where they put the characters and everything. Um, Everybody's been in high school at some point or will be, so it like works, and they're like in the favor of the show. And there was a point I was about to make that just like went away from my mind, but oh yeah, going back to Bride of Chucky, they actually felt like teenagers, like compared to I don't remember those kids' names and well no those grown people and fucking Bride of Chucky. I do not remember their names, but this is like the teens in this show feel like actual teens because they are teens because they're the age that you would be in high school, and it like fits for the show. Um, I do. like the romance between Jake and I forget the
Lori
other kid's
Lightfoot.
name. It was. Why the fuck
No.
you say that?
No, you can't.
Oh shit!
We can't
I
be roasting
can't.
the
Look,
Chicago
man,
I'm
he's.
dead.
themed
I
mayor.
love
But
the
yeah,
romance too, but look, they bogus as fuck because he's really and let me like not try to sound like a pedophile. He's a really good looking boy, but why the fuck did they choose him to look like? They could have done more with his looks. They made him look like a little bummy kid. That's what.
They made him like it was giving Richard
No,
Ramirez, and I was not okay with that. I keep
oh, I
comparing
love
people.
Richard,
I keep comparing people with
but
curly
like he
hair to
just
Richard
like
Ramirez. We
and
gotta
that
stop doing
fucking
that.
face, that face, dude. Come on,
Rudy, no.
anytime he got like scared or pissed off, he had the same pouty face. I couldn't stand it. Jake.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
who?
did.
I'm
Jake.
dead. Oh yeah, Jake.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
He
Jake.
kind.
He gotta
His
fix that
face.
mug.
Whatever. Yeah, he did look.
Like
He
constipated.
his face
Twitter was
contorted.
roasting
I
him.
will say.
It contorted. It contorted a lot. I was like, is this like an acting choice,
Exactly.
or is this how you actually look when you're upset? Like, I'm like, because if we were having a fight and you made that face, you'd be mad because
Yeah,
I would start
very,
laughing
very
because
much
what
that.
the fuck was that?
But let me continue. So yeah, I did like the romance between Jake and I did not look up his name, but the other character, the character that he like was kind of
Mm-hmm.
following with, Devin.
Devin.
Yes, Jake and Devin, and that like it was nice to see. Like it wasn't like when some shows try to just like put in a fucking gay relationship, it wasn't forced because Dom Mason he's actually gay and he took time to like put it out, like draw it out with the story. So I like how
Mm-hmm.
like it was implemented in there. Also, kudos to Chucky for being an ally. we we love that. Um, but yeah, I really did like the show. And I'm glad I eventually did watch it because Mark was telling me about like how it was good. And I have another friend of mine who was watching. I think they put like the first two episodes on YouTube, like when it was first came out. And my friend that told me to like check it out, and he liked it. He didn't even really care for the like the movies that much. So I was like, well, I'll just give it a watch. So I eventually gave it a watch, and I was glad I did because um, it went really good. I liked like all the arcs like each character had in there. I was surprised at what they were able to get away with as far as the kills, because I wasn't expecting some of the kills to be like they were.
I think they got away with it because there was only
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 kills per episode, so
Mm.
it was toned down.
Well, the ones they were able to
But
get
because
away with,
especially that one in the last episode, like he murdered people by stabbing them in the
How did he die
ass.
like that though?
Like what the?
I th-
I don't know. I think
was
he
it
hit
the
the right
ass or
vein. I don't.
was it like their backs and
Mm.
shit? I don't know.
I thought it because he was under them, so I thought it was the
Oh, I guess
ass.
so.
I don't. It was
But
weird. But then again,
yeah.
it's a show about a killer doll, so you gotta take what you can
Yeah,
get.
and then they also just had like a good balance of like Chucky being like evil ass Chucky and also being funny Chucky. Like I'm not gonna lie, the scene when he killed was it their
Yes, they
principal?
finally found the
Was it when they killed
balance.
their principal and then they played that Heads Will Roll song when he threw her head out the crowd? I fucking died when that shit happened. That was so funny.
My only that speech he gave when Jake took him up for the talent
Hmm.
show, I fucking love that. Actually, my favorite kill from the show was Jake's aunt
Oh, that was very.
when Chucky
It was
threw that
deep.
bitch
It
out the
was.
Oh
window.
yeah, and they played, and it was some song like whoever was on the music, putting the music in the background, they were
Mm.
on point because they knew what they was doing. Because it was, I forget what song it was, but it went perfectly with that scene, and it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a good kill. Like I like mostly all the kills that were in the show. Um, and yeah, it had a good balance of like funny Chucky, but also like evil ass Chucky, and um, we also got to see the two dads in the show were Devin Sawa from Final Destination, the first one. I haven't seen him in anything in a while, so I was like, oh, that's cool to see that guy. But
You will soon.
really, um, but yeah, overall, I like the show. I'm very much
Mhm.
excited for season two. Glad I watched it all, and yeah, very much excited to see what they do more. We need more
Yes.
Tiffany Doll. We got a lot of Tiffany. We need more Tiffany Doll. We
Yes.
need Where's the
We
Tiffany
saw a
Doll
lot of human
clones? I
Tiffany.
don't Where are the Tiffany Doll clones?
Yes. We want to see a Tiffany army. Like, fuck Chucky. We want to see a Tiffany doll army.
Yeah, this should have been called Cult of
But it,
Chucky
but,
if we being honest.
mm-hmm. But also, like, I love that the TV show brought the whole series together
Yeah.
because you have Andy and you have Andy and Kyle from the original trilogy, and then we have Tiffany from the of Chucky
Oh
trilogy, and
no.
then we have Nika from those last two movies. We have the new generation, but then Chucky's mentioning he's mentioning Glenn and Glenda to Jake. Like, oh, I have a transgendered kid. I'm down. I'm down with the LGBT community. I was like, oh, I'm like, so they're acknowledging that seed of Chucky happened. Okay, cool. They're acknowledging their kids. Where the fuck are the kids? The kids would be like they'd be like out of high school because they were like what, middle aged? Not middle aged. They were middle
Tiffany's
school age.
basically, well, she's basically like a celebrity. So I imagine they probably go to good school. She probably has them
Yeah,
somewhere
but Glenda
nice.
was was psychotic. Remember?
Maybe she's somewhere where she won't get caught.
I'm expecting to see Glenn and
I
Glenda
really hope so, and
in
I
season
don't
two.
I really want to just to see how they go about it, and also to see like, do they still have the shit face doll? Because we need to see that.
Yes, like I need to see way more. I did. This show gave me so much, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hopefully
be
they don't
greedy,
fuck
and I'm
up
gonna
in
say I want
season two.
more.
Yeah,
Hopefully they
and
don't.
besides like the flashbacks, all the fan service that was given in the show was like just the right amount for me. Like I got enough fan service, like, but also the story of like these newer characters where it didn't feel like we were just getting fan service. So that's why I did like it as well, because I didn't feel like they were overdoing it
Mm.
by callbacks and stuff. It just felt like it was just like a good continuation.
It wasn't too in your face. It
Yeah,
was just the right amount. Like having OG Andy and having Kyle there alone, it's just like, okay, cool, we're good, fine. Then seeing Tiffany, it's like, okay, cool. Like you have it, but you're not like jamming it in our face. Like we get it. But they also made it so like if you've never seen those movies, you can still enjoy watching the show. Because
that's true.
I watched the show with my roommates, and I don't think they've seen anything besides that first Child's Play movie. I know they watched the Bride of Chucky because I made them watch the Bride of Chucky and the first Child's Play movie, but they didn't watch anything else in between. So, but they were still able to enjoy the
Yeah, and
show.
that's just good writing. Like when you can do shit like that, that's just good writing. When you can like pull people into a franchise that's been going on since the fucking '80s, and they can be included.
Well, that's what happens when you have someone in charge of it who actually not only just created it but also loved what he created.
Facts.
So, but we've come to the end. But before we wrap up, cash or pass on the Cult of Chucky, Maria?
I want to say Cash. I really liked the movie. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Um, I would definitely have it playing like in the background and stuff. I definitely liked it more than Curse. Um, I liked it. I liked the movie. I would watch it again.
Rudy,
Um,
cash or pass on
Smash
Cult of
Andy,
Chucky?
but I'll definitely pass on this movie. I didn't like it at all, and it just it lowers the standard for all the other previous Chucky movies. Honestly, it's not like the highest ranked movies. I wouldn't recommend it on anybody who is like new to the series or franchise. I mean,
Tuan, cash or pass?
Uh, I will give it a pass. I did like it way more than Curse. Like Curse was just very boring to me. At least like I feel like this one kept me more like intrigued than Curse did. Um, so I'll give it like a low pass, but it's still a pass though.
For me, I give it a soft cash. Mostly because I feel like it's a good lead in to the TV
Yeah.
show. That's the only reason. Besides that, no, that's the only reason I got. I don't really like the movie. It's just a good, jumping off point. So that comes to the conclusion. We've officially finished the original series of Child's Play. Next week we'll be doing the remake.
I love this.
And if you've been listening for a long
I
time, you know
love
that I
it.
hate remakes. So this should be interesting. Oh, well, we'll talk about that next week. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is a Letters to Media production.
Should we do an intro?